So, who actually hires for satellite communications roles? First, we have satellite operators, the companies that own and manage the satellites themselves. Think of names like SES, Intelsat, or Eutelsat. Then, ground segment providers and teleport operators. These companies handle the infrastructure on Earth: antennas, RF chains, network operations centers. Equipment vendors and OEM also play a key role. These are the manufacturers of modems, antennas, bucks, and more, like Comtech, iDirect, and Cobham. Next, we have system integrators and service providers, companies that package solutions for maritime, aviation, military, or enterprise clients. The government and defense sector is a major employer too, with demand for secure, mission-critical communications. And finally, telecom operators and ISPs. Many now have Satcom divisions, especially in regions with low terrestrial coverage. In short, there's a whole ecosystem, and each part of it needs talent. Satellite operators are the backbone of the industry. These are the companies that own and manage the satellites themselves, whether in GEO, MEO, or LEO orbit. Some of the most well-known include SES, based in Luxembourg, with a global fleet of GEO and MEO satellites. Intelsat, one of the oldest and largest satellite operators. Inmarsat, known for mobility services, especially maritime and aviation. Eutelsat, with strong coverage over Europe, Africa, and the Middle East. Then we have Arabsat, a regional operator serving the Arab world. OneWeb, focused on LEO constellations for global broadband. Starlink, operated by SpaceX, rapidly expanding its global LEO network. And Telesat, a Canadian company preparing to launch its own LEO constellation, Lightspeed. These companies don't just fly the satellites, they design, launch, lease capacity, and manage the entire life cycle. Ground segment providers, also known as teleport operators, are the ones managing what happens on Earth. These companies operate ground stations, uplink and downlink facilities, and often provide VSAT connectivity or fully managed services to maritime, energy, and remote enterprise clients. Some leading names in this category include Speedcast, with global coverage and a strong maritime footprint. Marlink, focused on hybrid connectivity and digital solutions. Access Networks, active across Latin America, Europe, and Africa. OmniAccess, a key player in high-end maritime connectivity. Telespazio, a joint venture between Leonardo and Thales, with deep institutional expertise. And Castor, a teleport operator delivering flexible, secure services for broadcasters and enterprises. These companies are essential in linking satellites to real-world users, and they need technical talent who understands both infrastructure and customer needs. Equipment vendors, also known as OEM or original equipment manufacturers, are the companies that build the hardware behind satellite communications. These manufacturers design and produce modems, antennas, bucks, LNB, terminals, and other critical components that make Satcom possible. Some of the most important players in this space include ST Engineering iDirect, a global leader in satellite modems and hub systems. Comtech, known for RF gear, amplifiers, and modems used in commercial and military settings. Hughes Network Systems, a major player in broadband satellite terminals and consumer VSAT. Also on the list, UHP, which specializes in high-efficiency satellite routers. Cobham, known for ruggedized maritime and aeronautical antennas. And Intellian, a key provider of stabilized antennas for mobile platforms, like ships and aircraft. These companies are technology enablers, and they often need engineers, support staff, and integration specialists to bring their products to life in the field. System integrators and service providers play a critical role in the Satcom ecosystem. These companies are responsible for designing, deploying, and managing complete satellite communication networks. often for specialized use cases like maritime, aviation, defense, or remote energy operations. They bring together the technology from satellite operators, equipment vendors, and ground stations to deliver a working solution, often with 24/7 support. Some leading integrators include Airbus Defence and Space, with deep experience in secure, government-grade networks. GRC, known for deployable Satcom systems in defense and humanitarian missions. Satcom, which supports high throughput and mission-critical communications. On the commercial side, ITC Global provides turnkey connectivity for energy and maritime clients. And Satcom Direct, a leader in airborne connectivity and VIP aviation services. These firms often need experts in network engineering, project delivery, support operations, and customer success. Government and defense contractors play a strategic role in the satellite communications ecosystem. These organizations are responsible for delivering secure, resilient, and often encrypted communication systems that support national security, military operations, and emergency response. They typically work with high availability infrastructure, operate in classified environments, and integrate satellite connectivity into broader tactical networks. Key players include Lockheed Martin, with extensive defense satellite programs, Thales, delivering secure SATCOM for NATO and other military users, General Dynamics, a major integrator for US defense agencies, Leonardo, active across Europe with secure communication systems. And in many countries, the local military or government defense ministry will operate their own SATCOM units or collaborate with private contractors. These roles often require security clearance, familiarity with military protocols, and expertise in RF systems, encryption, and network resilience. Finally, let's not forget the role of telecom operators and internet service providers. While traditionally focused on terrestrial networks, some of these companies now operate hybrid SATCOM and terrestrial solutions, especially in regions where fiber and mobile coverage are limited or unreliable. These SATCOM divisions often serve rural, maritime, or government clients, integrating satellite backhaul, VSAT, or managed services into broader network architectures. Key examples include Telefónica, which offers satellite services across Latin America and Europe, Etisalat, active in the Middle East and Africa with global connectivity offerings, Orange Business Services, which delivers enterprise SATCOM solutions worldwide, BT Global, providing secure connectivity for government and multinational clients, and Yahsat, a UAE-based operator blending telecom and satellite services across multiple continents. These companies often seek professionals who understand both networking fundamentals and how SATCOM complements terrestrial infrastructure. So where can you actually find job opportunities in satellite communications? First, there are online job boards. Platforms like LinkedIn, Indeed, and company career pages. These are great starting points, especially for entry-level to mid-level positions. Then consider working with recruitment agencies, ideally those that specialize in telecom or Satcom. They often have access to roles that aren't publicly advertised and can help you position yourself more effectively. But perhaps the most powerful method is through industry events and networking. Conferences, webinars, and professional groups often lead to real opportunities. In fact, many jobs in Satcom are filled through referrals and direct connections, not job ads. The key is to be visible, engaged, and ready when the opportunity shows up. Let's take a closer look at some of the most effective job boards for finding opportunities in satellite communications. LinkedIn Jobs is by far the most active platform for global Satcom hiring. It's especially strong for mid to senior level roles and helps with networking too. Indeed is a good option for field technician, engineering, and support roles, particularly in operational regions. Glassdoor is useful not just for job listings, but also for researching companies, reading employee reviews, and checking salary ranges. If you're in Europe, spacecareers.uk offers a space-specific job portal that often includes Satcom-related listings. Similarly, spacetalent.org has a global reach, but focuses on early career talent, internships, and graduate programs. And don't forget the career pages of Satcom companies themselves, like SES, iDirect, Marlink, and others. Many roles are posted only there, before appearing on public job boards. Another powerful channel for landing a job in satellite communications is through recruitment agencies. Some agencies specialize in aerospace and telecommunications, and they often have access to roles that aren't advertised publicly. For example, Euroconsult is deeply involved in the space and satellite sector. New Group focuses on highly technical roles and engineering positions, often across borders. Korn Ferry is a global executive search firm that occasionally recruits for senior Satcom roles. NES Faircroft works heavily with energy, infrastructure, and mobility, and Satcom overlaps in many of those sectors. You may also find region-specific teams like the Manpower Satellite Division, which works closely with operators and integrators. And don't forget the countless LinkedIn recruiters. Many of them post Satcom jobs directly, or may approach you based on your profile. Working with the right agency can help you navigate the market, tailor your CV, and get introduced to companies you might not reach on your own. If you're serious about entering the Satcom industry, networking is essential. Start by following or attending key industry events such as CabSat, IBC, the Satellite Conference, or Global Mill Satcom. These conferences bring together operators, engineers, integrators, and recruiters from around the world. Join LinkedIn groups like Satcom Professionals, where discussions often include job leads, project news, and industry insights. Also consider participating in forums, Slack communities, and company-hosted webinars. These are great ways to stay visible, learn from others in the field, and build genuine connections that may lead to job opportunities. In Satcom, it's often not about where you apply, it's about who knows you're looking. Now let's talk strategy. How do you actually find Satcom opportunities effectively? First, use a smart keyword strategy when searching online. Search terms like VSAT, LEO, GEO, MEO, Teleport, NOC, Field Engineer, TAM, C-band, RF, or satellite communications can help you find niche roles that wouldn't show up in broader searches. Also include company names like iDirect or Comtech, or combine terms like customer support plus satellite for non-engineering roles. Second, apply a company-focused approach. Make a list of 10 to 20 companies that genuinely interest you, satellite operators, integrators, or vendors, and follow them on LinkedIn. Turn on job alerts, engage with their content, and get familiar with their mission. And third, don't wait. Be proactive. Reach out to people working in those companies. Send thoughtful messages, ask for advice, or request informational interviews. In Satcom, like many industries, relationships open doors before job posts do. Before we even dive into how to stand out in Satcom, let me share something important. We've reviewed thousands of applications for Satcom roles, from junior technicians to senior engineers, and helped many candidates land positions in this industry. So what you're about to learn is grounded in real-world hiring experience. These are the things that actually make a difference when companies review your profile. Now, before you write a single word, you need to understand the 3 core areas that show you're a serious candidate in Satcom. Radio frequency basics. You need to show that you understand how radio signals behave, how they travel, how they're affected by the atmosphere, and how interference works. Even basic RF awareness sets you apart from general telecom candidates. Hands-on experience with ground equipment. Think antennas, modems, LNB, books. If you've installed, configured, aligned, or even just studied this hardware, highlight it clearly in your CV. Networking knowledge Satcom doesn't stop at the antenna. You need to understand how the signal becomes usable data. That means TCP/IP, routing, firewalls, and how the ground segment connects to the end user or data center. To truly stand out in the Satcom industry, you need more than just technical skills. First, tailor your CV for Satcom. Highlight relevant experience, even from adjacent industries like telecom or aerospace, and showcase systems you've worked with. Second, learn the language, understand key industry terms, acronyms, and technologies. Being fluent in Satcom vocabulary instantly builds credibility. Third, show industry curiosity. Follow key companies, attend webinars, read newsletters. Anything that proves you're genuinely engaged. Fourth, be proactive in interviews. Prepare smart questions, reference real-world Satcom challenges, and connect your background to the company's mission. And finally, consider certifications. Even short courses from GVF, Hughes, or other providers can give you an edge, especially for technical or support roles. If you commit to these 5 areas, you won't just look like another applicant, you'll look like a future asset. When applying for roles in satellite communications, your CV needs to speak the language of the industry. Start by highlighting relevant experience, even if it's from other sectors like logistics, telecom, or aerospace. Focus on transferable skills that match Satcom environments. Emphasize the systems you've used, such as ERP platforms, RF test equipment, or NOC tools. These details show that you understand the technical landscape. Showcase international coordination or use of technical vocabulary. If you've worked across time zones or used terms like uplink, downlink, or bucks, include that. Add any industry certifications or trainings, even if they're short or online. They boost your credibility instantly. And finally, quantify your impact. Instead of vague descriptions, write things like reduced downtime by 30% or managed connectivity across 15 remote sites. These metrics make your contributions clear, tangible, and valuable to Satcom employers. To succeed in Satcom, you need to speak the language of the industry. Start by understanding key terms like VSAT, uplink, downlink, teleport, link budget, and the differences between LEO, MEO, and GEO satellite orbits. Be familiar with common vendors in the field, companies like iDirect, Comtech, Hughes, SES, Intellian, and Cobham. Recognizing these names helps you follow conversations and job descriptions. Use Satcom terminology confidently in interviews, emails, and documentation. Speaking like an insider shows that you've done your homework, and it immediately sets you apart from generic applicants. And finally, learn the Satcom fundamentals. Own them as if your life depends on them. Because in many critical operations around the world, someone's just might. One of the best ways to stand out in the Satcom job market is to show genuine curiosity about the industry. Mention any industry events you've attended, webinars you've watched, or newsletters you follow, such as Sat News or Space News. Follow relevant companies and thought leaders on LinkedIn. Interact with their content and stay engaged. Share how you keep learning, whether through podcasts, articles, or online courses. That mindset of continuous learning speaks volumes. Make this visible on your CV or LinkedIn profile. A short section like ongoing learning and interests can show you're not just applying randomly. You're invested in the field, and most importantly, be ready to talk about it. Curiosity isn't just a soft skill. In this industry, curiosity is credibility. When it comes to interviews in the Satcom industry, don't just answer questions, be proactive. Start by asking thoughtful questions that show you understand real-world challenges. Things like lead times, working in remote locations, or network reliability in harsh conditions. Prepare a specific story where you successfully solved a technical or operational issue. It's one of the best ways to demonstrate your value. Show curiosity about the company's systems and workflows. Ask about the tools they use, their satellite partners, or the types of clients they serve. Also, be ready to speak about trends, like GEO versus LEO satellite trade-offs, or the impact of new constellations like Starlink and OneWeb. And finally, demonstrate that you're already thinking like one of them. Not just a job seeker, but someone who understands their world and can contribute from day one. Certifications and short courses can go a long way in the Satcom industry. They help validate your skills, show initiative, and boost your credibility, especially if you are making a transition from another sector. On the field and RF side, programs like GVF Basic Technician or GVF Satcom Pro Series are excellent for hands-on technical validation. iDirect Remote Installer and OSHA RF Safety Awareness are also highly recognized for technicians. In the NOC and network domain, certifications like CCNA or CCNP from Cisco GVF IP over satellite, MikroTik MTCNA, or Fortinet NSE 4-7 show your command of network operations. If you're aiming for customer-facing roles or project management, courses like ITIL Foundation, PMP, Prince2, or even basic customer success certifications are valuable additions. And finally, for those working around procurement or logistics, you can explore APIX, CPIM, or CSCP, CIPS, ISM, or even practical skills like Excel for supply chain and trade compliance. These credentials aren't mandatory, but they give you an edge, especially in competitive or multinational environments.